Next up, we will move our way to the men's Collegiate Varsity 8 Active and Fit Now Cal Cup. This is an 8-lane race. Numbers 1 and 2 from our heats yesterday, our 4 heats made their way to this race, so we have a real thick field here. 8 across. In lane 1, Cal. Lane 2, University of California, San Diego. Lane 3, UCLA. Lane 4, MIT. Lane 5, University of San Diego. Lane 6, Gonzaga. Lane 7, Marietta College. Lane 8, Purdue. These boats are off and underway. Your racing has started for the men's Collegiate Varsity 8 Active and Fit Now Cal Cup. We're watching as these 8s get those blades in the water and work to establish dominance early. In a field as thick as this is, you know that these boats are wanting to make their presence known early so that they can figure out where the rest of the field is going to sit and they can begin the racing at hand. Those starts are the opportunity for every boat to settle in, get their butterflies out, and make sure that they know where they stand and they want to leave a mark with those starts. So here we're starting to see as the boats settle here, looking as if in lane 4, MIT is out to a bit of an early lead there, having jumped out nice and firm from that start. Looks like lane 2, UCSD, sitting even with lane 1, Cal. Then I'm looking to lane 3, UCLA. Then to lane 6, Gonzaga. Lane 5, University of San Diego. Lane 7, Marietta. And lane 8, Purdue. Important to keep in mind, that was just the start, though, so we'll wait to see how things go through this island. The island is always where the racing really sorts itself out. Teams are able to get into their rhythm. They are able to find their power. They are able to establish their signature on the race. And so you can see some boat movement really begins to happen through the middle of this race. MIT coming out strong and having a strong presence here. But these boats still fairly in contact all the way across the board here.
Yeah, a really interesting cross section of crews out on the water. That is the MIT lightweight program and a very successful Division III program. So lightweights showing their presence here in the early stages of this race. And across to them in lane 1, it's going to be right now MIT's biggest challenge is going to be coming out of that California boat. That is their Frosh crew, that freshman 8 in California. And it does look like just right now that California is taking the lead. So right now I'm looking at about a bow ball, maybe a foot advantage for California as they overtake MIT for that first place position. Just next to them, it is going to be UC San Diego in the third place spot, but still quite a bit of overlaps, a lot of contact here between all crews. In fourth, it is going to be lane 3. That's UCLA. That is your Akron national champion there, and certainly on track to have another great, successful season as a club program and testing themselves against some of these very fast varsity crews from across the country.
And as we pass that 1,000-meter mark, look to see some moves happen. You never know, but this is often a moment at which crews decide to make moves. They know that that's that 1,000-meter mark. Psychologically, it is a relief point for the athletes. They know that they're in the second half of the piece. And when other crews are starting to find relief, some crews may choose to take that as a moment to push the throttle even more to increase that discomfort amongst the other boats and to give a little bit of a question to those other boats as to whether they want to continue to push and challenge through this race, because after all, that is what you have to do to be successful in the sport of rowing.
Wow.
Look at that
Look
cross
at this
section as you
fleet.
mentioned earlier, Adrian. This
This
is
is
just incredible.
Yeah, just incredible. Quite a bit of contact. Not anyone that's like way out in front at this point in the race. There is still contact and overlap between all crews. Taking a look here, closest to the far shore, it is going to be great movement here by Purdue. Purdue in the farthest lane 8. Right next to them is Marietta College. So I've got those two crews at this point in the race at place 7 and 8. So Marietta in that eighth position, Purdue in seventh. Just ahead of them over there in lane 6 is going to be Gonzaga. Gonzaga right now sitting in the fifth place position. But we're going to look at a really great race happening right here between University of San Diego and UCLA.
Yeah, it looks like University of San Diego is starting to offer up that challenge. They're starting to bring up that rate a little bit. Looks like they may be looking and getting their eyes on Gonzaga, hoping to use Gonzaga and UCLA as a bit of a rabbit to chase down in this race. Hopefully, University of San Diego's got a little bit more in the tanks to move through. Selfishly, my alma mater, I'm going to make sure that I've got my hand in the air for them. But currently, we're looking at those three boats that we just called out there. Currently, it's UCLA in ahead, followed by Gonzaga, then University of San Diego, and now on to our lead boats. It looks like Cal has taken that one position, followed by UC San Diego, and then MIT in that third boat currently. Cal really starting to put on the press here as they move into the tents. You can see those bodies swinging now. There's a lot of horsepower in that boat. They're putting their mass on the handle, starting to really send that boat through. You can watch that yellow Empacher just lifting and sending through the boat. You see San Diego having to use a little bit more rate to give the challenge, but they are certainly turning it on right now. University of California picking up that rate to challenge Cal, and they are taking back some seats. MIT starting to lose ground to the two crews side by side, pushing for that finish line as they pass the beach. They're coming up now on that finish line. Cal holding on to that lead, but UC San Diego wanting to offer up a challenge and not willing to let it go without a fight. MIT in lane 3 there. UC San Diego making up a little bit of space on Cal. Cal holding on to that spot, though, for that win. UC San Diego in second. MIT in that third place. Then we are to UCLA in fourth. Gonzaga in fifth. University of San Diego in sixth. Marietta, seventh, followed by Purdue in eighth. That was a race.
That was a race. There's a lot of action out there with 8 crews, very competitive, challenging themselves for that active and fit Cal Cup. And what a performance there by the California Golden Bears as they will take home that trophy. Last year's victor was UC San Diego, so coming out with a challenge from California. This year it is California's turn to take home that cup. The Men's Cal Cup is sponsored by American Specialty Health, and they are a big sponsor here of the Crew Classic. As an alumnus of the UC San Diego program, the CEO, George DeBry, understands that hard work and dedication is required to compete for a trophy at the San Diego Crew Classic. American Specialty Health is dedicated to supporting the next generation of collegiate rowers working towards excellence in this hotly contested event. That is definitely what we saw.